Hello, everyone. Today's article is titled Japan's Rice Crisis Deepens. It examines how rising prices, disrupted supply chains, and limited access to emergency reserves are putting small rice retailers at risk. From April 2024 to March 2025, rice shop closures rose by 10%, and nearly half of retailers reported serious business disruptions. While the government has begun releasing stockpiles, many small shops still struggle to access affordable rice. The article reveals structural imbalances in Japan's food distribution and the fragile position of independent sellers in a tightly controlled market. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. Before we examine what happened, it helps to consider a larger theme that gives us context. This will guide how we understand the story that follows. This brings us to today's theme: who controls access? Modern economies depend on systems of distribution: who gets what, how, and when. But when resources are limited, powerful players can shape who gets priority. In Japan, rice isn't just food, it's cultural heritage and national identity. When access to that staple is disrupted, the impact is economic, emotional, and symbolic. What happens when access to essential goods is controlled by centralized systems? When central control fails to respond quickly or fairly, small players are the first to suffer. In the article, Japan's rice stockpile system was slow to reach small retailers. As prices rose and supply chains broke down, many local rice shops couldn't compete or stay open. Large buyers and supermarkets had better access, while independent sellers were left behind. This isn't just about rice, it's about how vulnerable groups get excluded in times of scarcity. When systems bypass community-level sellers, the result is often loss of livelihoods and trust. Decentralized access might not solve every crisis, but it could protect diversity and resilience. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with strained. It means under pressure, stressed, or stretched to the limit, often emotionally or economically. In the article, small rice retailers are described as strained under rising prices and shrinking supply. Here is an example. Relations between the two countries remain strained after the trade dispute. Next, we have stockpile. It refers to a large stored supply of goods kept for emergencies. In the article, the Japanese government began releasing its rice stockpile to stabilize supply. Here is an example. The country maintains an emergency stockpile of medical equipment for pandemics. Finally, let's look at bypass. It means to go around or avoid something, often a person, rule, or system. In the article, smaller shops were bypassed as rice was distributed through larger channels. Here is an example. The company bypassed traditional retail and sold directly to customers online. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. Japan's rice crisis is hitting small retailers hard as prices soar and emergency reserves remain out of reach. With a complex supply chain and rising costs, many shops are closing. Critics say government aid favors big companies, exposing deeper issues in Japan's food system. The crisis is prompting calls for reform to protect traditional food vendors and ensure fair access. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is crisis. It refers to a serious problem or emergency that needs immediate attention. The second answer is retailers. It refers to businesses or people that sell goods directly to consumers. The third answer is reserves. It means a supply of something kept for future use or emergencies. The fourth answer is favors. It means giving unfair advantage or support to one group over another. The fifth answer is reform. It refers to changes made to improve a system, law, or organization. Great work, everyone! We explored how economic stress, centralized control, and distribution bottlenecks are deepening Japan's rice crisis. Independent sellers are struggling, and the system isn't flexible enough to meet local needs. Let's close with this question. Should traditional supply chains be replaced with more direct models like farmer-to-retailer systems? We'll reflect more next time. Until then, keep thinking about how structure shapes fairness.